So we're halfway through the year and I have made a decision. I don't want to buy any more books until the end of the year and prioritize my TBR. Every single book that I have brought into my home, I have been ecstatic for it. I have been so excited to read it, and somehow I haven't. So that's what I'm going to try to fix. So let's fix that. I want to show you the books that I have collected over the years. Some of these books I have had in my collection for well over 6-7 years. So let's prioritize them. Let's give them the love that they deserve. I have put them into a bit of a pile. They're not organized, not at all. But I've separated them a little bit into different categories, so hopefully we can get through them soon. I'm going to show you the books that I have, just stating the title and the author. I'm not going to go into the details because we'll be here until tomorrow and we don't want that. So grab something to drink. I'm drinking some tea. Drink some tea, coffee, cold beverage, whatever your heart desires, and let's get to it. Okay, so let's start with the books that I'm currently in the middle of reading. I am reading One Italian Summer. I'm like maybe 3/4 of the book in. This book is by Rebecca Surley, and A Room with the View by Ian Foster. And on this one, I'm kind of halfway through. I'm hoping to be able to finish these 2 books within the next couple of days, hopefully within this weekend, because I have put them on my May TBR and haven't finished them yet. So let's try to do that. So let's start with the classics. I have The Catcher in the Rye, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Tender is the Night, Ernest Hemingway, Farewell of Arms. And then I have 3 books by Jane Austen. Aren't these beautiful? And this is Mansfield Park, Emma, and Sedition. I also have in this same edition Pride and Prejudice, but I have already read that. The best known works of Nathaniel Hawthorne, including A Scarlet Letter. I love this book. I got this in a secondhand store, and it has written, I don't know if you can see that, it says property of Mary Shuparak, maybe. And it smells old and delicious, and it has three of Nathaniel's book, including The Scarlet Letter, which I really want to read. But yeah, this is an edition that I have probably for 10 years. This Barnes & Noble editions of Sherlock Holmes and The Odyssey. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and it comes in this very pretty edition. This book, I say every Christmas that I'm going to read it, and then doesn't happen. I have this edition of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Thomas Hardy by Tessa D'Urberville, or Thomas Hardy is the author. Tessa D'Urberville is the work, the name of the novel. Madame Bovary, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, by Gustave Flaubert. Italo Calvino's Invisible City. Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. So far, those are the classics, like English classics that I have. I have not 100% sure if they're considered classics, but I know they're very well known. El Amor en los Tiempos de Cólera by Gabriel García Márquez and Isabel Allende, La Casa de los Espíritus. Both of these are obviously in Spanish, and they are very well-known books. I consider them classics in the Spanish literature. Okay. And then I have a couple of books that they are a little bit on their own category. So one of my favorite things to do is to get books as souvenirs when I travel. So some of these books I have obtained while traveling, and I haven't gotten a chance to read in them yet. I went to New Orleans in 2020, right before the pandemic hit, with my best friend, and I got two books there. One of them is Anne Rice. She's a classic author about vampires, and I believe this one is set in New Orleans, so I got it. It's called the Feast of All Saints, and I got this one, Marie of Old New Orleans, and I got this one on a secondhand store. Again, I just got it because I love when they come with some type of signature or dedication. Happy birthday to Patricia from Rodney, November 9th, 1945. I love that. So yeah, it has some illustrations. It looks very interesting. I have no idea what it is about, but I'm very excited to read it. It seems like it's going to be a good story. Okay, so let's continue with the next stack. Okay, and then the rest of the book are a little bit of a mismatch. I usually have them separated by some type of genre. So I guess we can go with that. Let's see. I believe these are more like literary fiction, okay? We have The Kite Runner by Khalid Hossein. This book I started, I got a little bit in, and I had to stop. It was too heart-wrenching for me at the moment that I was reading it, and I haven't been able to pick it up again. We have Norwegian Woods by Haruki Murakami. This book, I got this book, I was so excited to read it, and then never picked it up. Reading Lolita in Tehran, a memoir in books, Asar Nafisi. This one I'm really excited for. Christine Hanna's The Nightingale. A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Tao. Dan Brown's A Lost Symbol. El Jardín de las Mujeres Berelli by Carla Montero. The Jane Austen Society by Natalie Jenner. Coal Mountain by Charles Frazier. This is another of those books that I got while traveling in South Carolina, actually North Carolina. And I was in the Smoky Mountains and it seemed perfect. This one I got in Book of the Month, The Fountain of Silas by Ruta Sepeti. Summers at the Saint by Mary Kay Andrews. Beautiful Ruins by Jess Walter. The Most Beautiful Girl in Cuba by Chanel Clayton. Lizzie and Dante by Mary Bly. Reckless Girl by Rachel Hawkins. The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. Anti-Pole the Sicilian Lions by Mario Giordano. I love the cover of this book. And then we have, I have a couple more. Palm Beach by Mary Atkins. This one I have also started. I should have created a different category for the books that I started, got maybe a third of the way in, and then decided to stop. For what reason, I wouldn't be able to tell you. This one I read. And The Book of Lost Names by Kristen Harmel. This book was such a cover buy. I got it at the thrift store, but look at that spine. Isn't that beautiful? And then the front, I just want to read it because it looks so pretty. And then I have two books that are in Italian. One is actually from my Italian professor when I was in college, Emanuele Petener, Prosper Bagnini. And the other one that I have was actually a gift by another very good friend, Alessandro Barico, Oceano Mare. I know a little bit of Italian, but unfortunately not enough to pick up a book and read on it. I was actually, when I was going to college, I did manage to read a lot, almost, I would say a little bit under halfway through this book, while I was going to classes, Italian classes, and I would love to pick it up again. That's one of my bucket lists, maybe not for this year, but for the next, to start taking Italian classes again. I would love to be able to read in the language that, I would love to be able to read these books in the language that they were written. And then we have romance by Jenny Colgan. It doesn't show the last of the name, but the name of the author is Jenny Colgan, and this one is Christmas on the Island. She writes books that are based in the Highlands of Scotland. Some of them are in Edinburgh. The Christmas Shop, I believe, it's in the city in Edinburgh, Scotland, and she just describes Scotland so beautifully. It makes me want to go there more than I already do. So I love her writing. I love her books are just so, it's like a little bit of a hug. So I really like her. I actually want to start collecting all her books, her backlist. I have read a lot of them. There are some that I haven't read, including this one, but this is the only one that I have. So I want to start collecting her work. And then we have two books in Spanish by the same author, María Martínez, Palabras que nunca dije, and Una canción para no vale. And I love the covers of these books. My mom has actually read both of them and she loves them. So I want to read those soon. Then we have Nothing Above by A. Marie. Lights, Camera, Passion by by Isabel Lucero. Notorious by Leslie McAdam. Champagne Kisses by Catherine Webb. Mile High by Liz Tomfort. I'm sorry, Liz. I don't know how to pronounce the last name. Flawless by Elsie Silver. King of Wrath by Anna Huang. And God of Malice by Rena Kent. And now we're going to get into the nonfiction pile. Let's start with The Most Beautiful Walk in the World by John Baxter. Elvira Sastre, Madrid Me Mata is an biography, an autobiography. Sashamo, My Life in New Orleans, Louis Armstrong. I got this one in New Orleans as well. The Summer of My Great Taverna by Tom Stone. Eurydice Street by Sofka Sinoviev. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering the pronunciation of those names and the author's name. A Year in Province by Peter Mailey. This book I got at the Strand back in 2014. So yeah, it's time. It's been 9 years that I have this book. La Bella Lingua by Deanne Hill. And Afternoons in Ithaca by Speedy Cinciras. I'm sorry. Educated by Tara Westover. Think Like a Monk by Jay Shetty. And Atomic Habits by James Clear. This one also started tabbing, stopped somehow. And we made it to our last pile of books, and that is my fantasy category. Every single book here, I want to read so much. So let's start with this stack. So in 2019, when the last season of Game of Thrones came out, I was obsessed with that series. That is still to today one of my favorite fantasy series of all time. And I bought the box set of the books. Here they are. Have I read them? No. Did I open it? Yes. I read 3 pages of the first book. And I put it away and never picked it up again. Do I want to read it? Yes, 100%. I love that series, and what I read so far of the book matches so good to the series, or I guess vice versa. The series matches so good to the books that I want to get immersed in that world again. And I know the books are going to have a lot more details, and especially towards the later books. So yes, I want to read this. I'm intimidated, very much so, by the size of this book or these books, but let's do it. And then we have, let's see here. Okay, this is by Kendari Blake, 3 Dark Crowns. The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert. Heartless Hunter by Kristen Ciccarelli. I got 90% into this book and never finished it. I didn't want to automatically give it a bad score because I didn't enjoy the story, just because I wasn't reading it at a very bad time where I wasn't enjoying any story at all. So I put it away, and I want to read it again when I'm in the mood for it, when things, stars align, because I want to give it the best shot possible. But yeah, almost finished it, but didn't quite did so. Another book that I left halfway through, I read this much from The Ruthless Vows. This is the second book in the Divine Rival series or duet by Rebecca Ross. Beautifully written. Why I stopped there, I don't know. But I want to continue or finish it. Firebird by Juliette Cross. Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I believe I got this book when it first came out, like a million years ago. It's time to read it. Babel by R.F. Kuang. Also started it. Also put it away. Stalking Jack the Ripper by Carrie Maniscalco. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by B.E. Schwab. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. I want to actually reread The Hunger Games and then continue with the 2 books that had come out afterwards. But I got this one. Never read it. A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett Sinclair. This Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. And then these are the 2 books, book 2 and 3 of the All Souls series. By Deborah Harkness. The first book is A Discovery of Witches. This is book number 2, Shadow of Night, and book number 3, The Book of Life. The Will of the Many by James Islington. I actually put this on my May TBR. Very excited to read it. Unfortunately, I didn't get to in May. Hopefully, I can get to it within the next couple months. And the last book, A Thousand Ships by Natalie Haynes. Also put it on my May TBR. Unfortunately, didn't get to it. And there we have it. That's my entire physical TBR. I'm looking forward for the next 6 months to prioritize these books and read from my shelves instead of going to the bookstore and spending more money on new books that then I sometimes just put it on my shelves and let it sit there for years. We're going to stop that. And I need for you to help me, keep me accountable. Let me know in the comments if you have a similar issue with your TBR where it's just getting out of hand, and what are you doing, or if you even want to fix it. I enjoy having options, but at the same time, this feels excessive. I want to shrink those options down a little bit. Let me know in the comments if you have any recommendations or any books that you think I should get to first. I will be happy to take that into consideration, because at this point, there's too many options. I don't even know where to start. If you like this video, please subscribe, leave a comment, and give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you soon. Bye.